The screen fades to black, as the sound of distant bagpipes fills the air. Then a single image appears. Claire's tearful eyes reflecting the glow of a fading sunset over Fraser's ridge. Her voice trembles as she whispers Jamie's name, and in that moment, every memory of their journey crashes back like waves against a broken shore. This is not just another season. This feels like the last heartbeat of a love story that has defied time itself. Claire walks through the empty halls of their home, her fingers brushing over the worn wooden beams. The air is thick with silence, and the shadows cling to her like old memories. The trailer shows her standing at the window, watching the fields sway in the cold wind, and you can almost feel her grief pressing through the glass. She has carried centuries of pain on her shoulders, yet this is the first time she looks truly alone. It is the kind of loneliness that makes your chest ache as you watch. Jamie appears next, his hair streaked with gray, his eyes burning with quiet sorrow. He kneels in the garden, holding the small wooden cross where their loved ones rest. His voice does not break, but the silence around him does. The trailer lingers on his face, the man who once conquered battlefields now fighting a war inside his own heart. Every scar on his hands feels heavier now. Every promise he made to Claire, trembling under the weight of the years they have lost. The trailer cuts between their past and present, moments of laughter clashing against scenes of storm and fire. You see their wedding flash by in golden light, then the cold gray of a battlefield soaked in smoke. Every shot screams of a love that has survived everything, yet now stands on the edge of its final chapter. It feels like watching the last flame of a candle struggle to stay alive in the wind. There is beauty in it, but also unbearable fear. As the music swells, Claire whispers, "Whatever happens, remember our love." Her words carry through the empty house, through the hills, through time itself, and land like a stone in your heart. The trailer ends on Jamie looking back at her one last time before walking into the mist. And when the screen fades to black, you are left sitting in silence, knowing something inside this story is about to break. And take your heart with it. The trailer shifts, and the tone grows heavier. The sound of distant thunder rolls over the ridge as Claire stands before Jamie, her hands trembling but her gaze unshaken. He reaches out, cupping her face like she is the only piece of the world still holding him together. They are older now, slower, their bodies lined with the marks of every war they fought. But their love burns with the same fire it did the day they first met. The trailer shows them walking through their home, touching each wall as if they know it might be for the last time. Their voices are low, steady, and full of sorrow they dare not speak out loud. Jamie looks out across the valley, the wind tugging at his cloak. The weight of coming war rests on his shoulders, yet his eyes stay on Claire, as if she is the only reason he still stands. There is a moment when he takes her hand and presses it to his heart. The trailer lingers on that moment, letting the silence speak louder than any words. You can see the fear hidden behind his strength, the desperate hope that somehow he can keep her safe, even as the world crumbles around them. It is not the fire of youth that drives him now. It is something deeper, something that will not let him fall as long as she still breathes. Claire's voice comes like a soft thread weaving through the chaos. She speaks of choices, of the life they built with their own blood and tears, and of how they cannot let it be torn apart. Her words tremble, but her will does not. The trailer shows her preparing medical supplies, loading herbs into small pouches, her hands steady even as her eyes shine with hidden tears. She has stood beside him through centuries of war, exile, and loss, and now she stands beside him again, knowing this fight might be their last. The love between them does not shout. It stands quietly, like a wall of stone, unbroken even by time. The trailer closes this part with a haunting image. Claire stands on the steps of their home, watching Jamie ride off toward the smoke rising in the distance. The light behind her fades into shadow as his figure grows smaller. She whispers his name, and for a moment it feels like the world holds its breath. He glances back once, just once, and the screen cuts to black. It is a moment soaked in fear and devotion, a moment that says what words never could. This is not just another fight. This is the fight that will decide if their love can outlast even the end of everything. The trailer softens as warm golden light spills across the fields of Fraser's Ridge. Children's laughter echoes for a fleeting moment, and we see Brianna watching her own kids chase fireflies near the old stone wall. Her smile is bright, but her eyes are distant, carrying the shadow of a future she cannot control. Roger stands beside her, one hand on her shoulder, both of them silently wondering how long this fragile peace can last. The past has always found them, no matter how far they ran, and now it is coming again, faster and louder than before. The camera lingers on their faces as if capturing their last unbroken moment. A faded photograph rests on the table inside their cabin. It shows Claire and Jamie on their wedding day, smiling like they had conquered the world. The trailer cuts between that photo and the present, where their voices echo faintly as if time itself is reaching across decades to pull them back. Claire's words play over the images like a ghostly lullaby, speaking of love that must survive for the sake of those who come after. Brianna closes her eyes as if she can feel her mother's voice wrapping around her children like a shield. She knows the life they have was bought with blood and fire, and it may soon demand more. The music darkens as Roger kneels by the old family Bible, his hand resting on the names written inside. He speaks in a low voice, promising to protect their children no matter what it costs him. His face is steady, but his fingers tremble. The trailer shows him building a barricade near the edge of the ridge, working late into the night as rain lashes down. Each hammer strike echoes like a vow, like he is trying to build a wall between his family and the storm he knows is coming. The weight of the Fraser name presses heavy on him, yet he stands taller beneath it, as if the love he carries is stronger than fear. The final image of this section is quiet but haunting. Brianna stands alone on the porch as the wind pulls at her hair. She watches her children sleep through the window, their small faces peaceful and unknowing. Behind her, the hills are swallowed in rolling mist. She whispers to herself, barely audible, saying they must survive this so her children will have a future worth remembering. The screen fades, leaving only the soft echo of her words hanging in the silence like a prayer. It is a reminder that this story is no longer just about love. It is about everything they are willing to give up so their family can live on. The trailer darkens without warning, and the warm glow of Fraser's Ridge fades to cold gray. A storm howls through the trees as if the land itself is mourning. Claire stands on the edge of a cliff, her cloak whipping in the wind, and her eyes fixed on something far beyond the horizon. The music drops to a single trembling violin note as her voice echoes, cracked and hollow, asking how much more they must lose before it ends. It is not the voice of a healer anymore. It is the voice of a woman standing at the edge of everything she ever loved. Jamie appears in the next shot, his face pale and set like stone. He rides through the battlefield smoke, the world burning around him. Yet the camera keeps close on his eyes. They are fierce but broken, like he already knows what fate has chosen for him. The trailer flashes between scenes of fire, screaming soldiers, and fragments of the life he is leaving behind. Their home, their family, their dreams, all flickering like dying embers. It feels like he is not riding toward victory, but toward sacrifice, like he has already made peace with never coming back. Then comes the cruelest moment. Claire kneels in the mud, clutching something close to her chest. Her hands are stained red, and her face is streaked with tears. She cries his name into the storm, as if the world might give him back if she just says it enough. The rain drowns her voice, and the screen blurs as if the camera itself cannot bear to watch. The trailer holds on her grief for a breath too long, forcing the audience to feel every shard of her breaking heart. It is raw, unflinching, and almost unbearable. The trailer closes this section with silence. A lone candle burns on their empty dinner table, its flame shaking as the wind creeps through the cabin. One chair is missing. One life is gone. Claire's voice whispers one last line. "If love must end, let it end in your arms." The candle dies, and the screen goes black. There is no music, no voice, no movement, only silence, heavy and hollow, as if the world has stopped to mourn them. And in that stillness, it becomes clear. This is not just the end of a season. This is the goodbye they were never ready to give. The screen fades from black to the soft glow of morning light spilling across Fraser's ridge. The storm has passed, leaving the land quiet and still, as if it is holding its breath. Claire's voice drifts over the hills, faint and distant, promising that love never truly dies. Jamie's image flickers beside hers, smiling in golden sunlight like a memory that refuses to fade. The trailer ends not with thunder or fire, but with silence. The kind of silence that holds everything they have ever been. It feels like saying goodbye while still hoping for one more hello. As the music swells gently, scenes of their journey flash like fading stars. The laughter, the tears, the vows whispered in the dark. Every moment that shaped them plays across the screen one last time. Each frame feels like a heartbeat, fragile yet unstoppable. It is not just a farewell to two characters. It is a farewell to an entire world they built with love, loss, and defiance. A world that lived in the hearts of everyone who walked beside them through every season. You can almost feel the trailer reaching out through the screen, asking you to carry their story now. The screen fills with the words, Outlander Season 8, as soft embers drift through the air. Underneath, a quiet message appears. Hold on to love. The music fades to a gentle hush, leaving only the echo of Claire's voice saying Jamie's name like a prayer. The screen lingers for a moment, letting the weight of it all sink in. Then it fades to black, and you are left staring at your own reflection, heart heavy, eyes burning, wondering how you will ever say goodbye to them. This is where you speak to your viewers. Tell them to share the moment that broke them the most. Ask them which scene shattered their hearts, and which memory they will hold on to forever. Remind them that they are part of this story too, and their voices matter. Invite them to like, comment, and subscribe so they do not miss the final chapter of this journey. End with a promise that this season will not just be watched. It will be felt. Tell them to keep their hearts open and their tissues close, because the story they love is about to break them in the most beautiful way. The trailer drifts back from the darkness with soft rays of light slipping through the windows of the empty Fraser home. Dust floats in the air like tiny golden sparks, and the floorboards creak softly as if remembering every step they once took together. The camera glides over the worn table where their hands once rested, and the old fireplace where their laughter used to rise. It feels like the house itself is holding its breath, still listening for their voices even though they are gone. Every shadow carries a memory, and every memory carries love. The sound of children's laughter rises in the distance. It is faint, yet full of life, and it wraps around the silence like a warm embrace. The trailer shows Brianna's children running across the fields, their small feet scattering the fallen leaves. Roger watches from the porch with quiet eyes, knowing they are chasing the same wind that once carried their grandparents through battles and storms. The legacy they left is no longer just a name in an old book. It is alive in every heartbeat of those children, and the trailer lets us feel that their story is still moving forward even if the pages have turned. Claire's voice returns like a whisper carried on the breeze. She speaks not of loss, but of love that never leaves. Her words float over the ridges, soft and steady, saying that every choice they made was for this, for the lives that would come after them. The camera shows her old medical tools placed carefully on a shelf, the light touching them like a blessing. They are not relics of the past. They are promises fulfilled. The world they built still stands, and it will keep standing because they gave everything to protect it. The section ends with one last image. A single candle burns in the window as twilight settles over the ridge. The wind moves through the trees, gentle now, and carries the sound of distant bagpipes across the hills. It feels like they are still here, not as ghosts, but as part of the land itself. The screen fades as their voices echo together one last time, full of peace and love. And in that moment, the trailer reminds you that some love stories never truly end. They simply change form and keep living in the hearts of those who remember them. The trailer fades into a soft golden haze, and the world of Fraser's Ridge seems to breathe one last time. The hills glow under the setting sun, and the wind carries a quiet calm through the empty fields. Claire's laughter echoes faintly as if caught between the trees, while Jamie's voice hums like a low heartbeat under the earth. They are gone from the screen, yet they feel closer than ever. The camera slowly pulls back from their home until it becomes just a small speck against the vast green world. It feels like the land itself is holding them now, keeping their love safe long after they are gone. The music softens to a single piano melody as the screen shows flashes of their journey. The first time Claire saw Jamie, the way he looked at her like she was the only star in a dark sky, their wedding kiss in the golden light, their hands entwined while the world burned around them. Every frame is a fragment of the love story that changed everything. It does not feel like the end of a show. It feels like the closing of a book you will never be ready to let go of. Their story has ended on screen, but it lives on in every heart it ever touched. As the final image fades, the screen turns black, and the words appear in soft white light. Thank you for loving them. The piano fades into silence, and the only thing left is the sound of your own breath as you sit there, still holding on to them. It is quiet, peaceful, and unbearably beautiful. They have said goodbye, yet it feels like they are still here, watching from the edge of time, proud of the love they left behind. Now is the moment to speak to your viewers. Tell them that this story lives because they carried it. Invite them to share the memory that broke their hearts and the moment that healed them. Ask them what they will carry from Claire and Jamie's love into their own lives. Encourage them to comment, to subscribe, and to keep the spirit of Outlander alive. Remind them that this is not just the end of a season. It is the beginning of every story they will tell about how this love changed them forever.